to share the very simple like 101 because I have so many people that think about getting oils and just aren't sure and don't understand how easy it is. Sorry if my little Noah's having a party over here. So I thought of just hosting these once, twice a week, whatever I could do, one-on-one classes. So I'm kind of talking to both screens here. And so if you RSVP, I have a PDF I send. It's the Essential Oils Made Easy. And this is actually from the doTERRA site. So this is actually like a tear pad you can get. And then you can use in class, because in class is awesome because you can actually smell all the aromatics. So you guys have your oils, so you can just like pop your bottles open. So this is what I use and kind of to go over. So I don't even know, I always share what my story is, even though you may know a little bit of when I got started, but I got started with oils when I was pregnant with Sawyer, and Sawyer's almost 3. And so I was second trimester pregnant, and I was just like looking for natural remedies, and I was finding that a lot of the pharmaceuticals and things that I would usually turn to, like ibuprofen all the time I used to take, wasn't available for when you're pregnant. So I was like, oh, okay, what can I take? And my friend Laura invited me to a class. And so I thought, okay, great. This is perfect. And I learned so much that night, and it was exactly what this is, just a simple 101, and I got started with a kit. I think that's all how we usually get started. Here, why don't you scoot back? And so from there, I used like peppermint for my headaches. We didn't have copaiba at the time, frankincense, and then the On Guard drops, like, were amazing when I had a sore throat. Like I was like on my deathbed like the week before I was supposed to deliver, and I was already fearful. Like your first one, you're like, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this labor. And I remember taking oregano in my water, and Laura's like, what are you doing? Don't do that. Because I was like, why does it taste so bad? And so if I didn't have her to lean on to like help me, she brought me over veg capsules and the On Guard drops, and then like miraculously was like healthy for the delivery, right? So that's kind of like when I decided to be like dive in a lot more and learn more each week. And then suddenly, like, it was a year later, I just said, you know what, I want to share these with other people, and I can't stop talking about it, so I might as well do something with it. So that's why I'm here. Help people get started with oils, explain all the 101s, and then people that have oils that maybe haven't taken class need to learn, right? So, I'm going to share my desktop on this Zoom. Let's see here if I can do this. Actually, let's do this. How do I know how to work this? You guys can't see my desktop yet. That's why. Oh, I got one other person coming in. Trisha. And I'll add her. And I'm going to share. Hopefully it doesn't show what a hot mess my desktop is. Hi, Trisha. How are you?
Good.
I kind of started, but... And
yeah,
you,
sorry.
No worries. You can always jump on whenever. So you took a very similar class, a little different, and I'm probably much better at explaining things now. But I'm using this Essential Oils Made Easy guide. This is just from the doTERRA site, but I have it shared on my screen here. So essential oils are a natural solution for a lot of options that are out there, and a lot of options that are just known as norms. Like I was saying when I got started, I had no clue essential oils were a thing. Like they've been around for how many years and are just a natural remedy. But getting back to the basics of essential oils versus different alternatives. And so there are 3 things to know about oils, and that's what these top 3 bullets here, and they're not filled in. That's what it was made an empty form for you to fill in. So, and this is all going to be explaining strictly doTERRA's oils. This isn't talking about the ones you can get off Marshall's shelves. It's not talking about Amazon. Even if it's doTERRA on Amazon, it's not talking about Young Living. It's just talking about doTERRA essential oils bought from doTERRA. So the number one thing we want to make sure with our oils is number one is safe. So this left column here. So safety is really important if you're trying to actually use something, especially as a natural solution or alternative. So you're trying to find a way to be effective and therapeutic. So you want to make sure your oil is pure. And so if I am going to Marshall's, for example, or Target, I've seen Rose for like $1 or $2 on those little shelves. It'll probably have, maybe it'll have like a drop or two of that essential oil from a farm, maybe local nearby, and then filled with a synthetic or an alcohol, which is not safe and it's harmful for us. So here we are being these due diligent, seeking safe options here, and then you actually have something that'll do you harm. So safety is really important, making sure that it's 100% natural and safe and there's no side effects. So finding that you don't want those alcohols and things for your body to, you don't want to ingest, you don't want to apply topically, we don't want to breathe that in. So that's the stuff that's like in our air wicks and stuff, that's the stuff we're trying to get away from. So essential oils essentially are the essence of a plant. So if you ever hold an orange, it is going to be that smell when you're smelling your hands after you hold that orange, that's the essential oil on your hand. And so they are the extracts. They are 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs, so that is why they are known as a great alternative. So even though you can add, you know, rosemary to a dish and you're going to get those benefits, you're going to get a lot more if you have that essential oil that's distilled from that plant. And so what's cool is doTERRA is the only one that has a certified therapeutic grade oil. When they got started, they wanted to set the standard for quality because there were so many adulterated oils. There still are. Like, it's still terrible because it's not a regulated thing. FDA, of course, doesn't want to regulate a natural option, right? They want to regulate the stuff that makes them money. But we have these standards in place, which means we do, I think it's up to 60 tests now, in-house and out-house. So it's not just doTERRA doing the testing. All these tests that say this is 100% pure. So if you were to look at the bottom of any of your bottles, you'll see a batch number, and then you'll see the expiry date. And that batch number you can look up at sourcedu.com, and you can actually pull up the like lengthy scientific chemist reports of showing this is 100%. Sorry. My mom doesn't know I'm doing a live right now. It's trying to call me. 100% pure essential oil. So they're going to make sure there's no contaminants, no fillers, none of that stuff you shouldn't be having. So they're totally transparent to you, which is what I love. You don't get that anywhere else. And I'll go over these 3 oils after I go over these bullets. But 2, the coolest thing is that they're effective. This little graphic here is a cell. So what's cool is an essential oil is such a small molecule, and it can actually pass through your cell membrane. So geek out with me for a second, but if you're sick with something bacterial that's going to live outside of your cell, it's going to live outside your cell when it's hang on, let me grab the baby. I'm on intermission. I knew he was going to join, but I didn't know him. But when you have something viral, it's going to live inside your cell. So your essential oil, because it's such a small compound, it's such a small molecule, it actually can penetrate and pass through that cell membrane. So it's actually going to be effective for getting whatever's inside that cell. Super cool. So, and the way you can tell how small these molecules are, if you open a bottle of essential oil, you're probably going to smell it across the room. So that's just the testament of how you can smell that. I bet if you open a bottle of an adulterated oil, you're not going to get that same effect. So this just gives you a nice approach, a natural approach versus others. So you have an alternative to start with for anything going on, right? Then the last one is affordable. So essential oils are like pennies per drop, except for like Melissa and Rose, right? The expensive ones. But They are all very affordable compared to what you can actually pay to I don't want to say any of the wrong terms here, but to be more proactive than reactive on something going on. It's going to be way better to have your oils to help avoid some things, okay? You can kind of read between the lines on these. Hi, Chantal. For me, I love that I have my box of oils. I have a few box of oils, but I have a box of oils. And if I have something going on, I'm going to pull out my Essential Life book, which is something I give all my members. This is going to help me look up what ailment, what thing I have going on, and actually look at what oil would work for me. And I mean, over time you gain that knowledge, but I still flip to that all the time and just see, is there an oil for that? Because you'll hear that all the time, and there literally is, because oils actually have side benefits. So versus other options out there that have side effects, right? You can flip over a bottle of ibuprofen and see it's not good for your liver or kidneys, but with oils, they have side benefits. So like lavender is great for sleep. It's also great for your skin. So kind of those two things. So I'm going to go through the 3 ways to use oils, and then I'm going to go through the top oils. So these are just the top oils on this sheet. If there's one you guys want to hear, you can put it in the comments or chat, or just at the end if you want to bring it up. I'll open it up for questions, but because there's like so many out there, but we try to hit on just the top ones that are great for your tool belt. So just skip these 3 here, and I'm going to go to the 3 ways to use. So 3 ways to use oils. A very, very common way is aromatic, which a lot of us know as a diffuser, and that's usually, he's having a cow, let me see back. So diffusing is very popular, right? That's probably the first way. If you start, you're like, I just want that fresh scent without those harmful chemicals in the air, and you get started that way. So diffusing, having a diffuser is a great way. It's just water and then that essential oil dropped in there. And then you can also do a ghetto diffuser, which I'll do and calm him down a little bit. So this is a bottle of lavender. And so I just put a drop in my palm and rub my hand together, ghetto diffuser. And it's hard to do with him in my lap, but I do both hands cupped over my face and take deep breaths. So if you don't have a diffuser, it's not a big deal. You have your hands. I also like, I'll use the roller, which I'll talk about next. And I will wipe the excess on my neck or in my hair because my hair gets dry. And so if you do that, you're just like a walking diffuser, which is cool. So the benefits to aromatic is it helps clean air, boosts the mood. You can really set the tone of a room without even telling your significant other. So if they're coming home cranky, you can throw in some citrus bliss, lavender, help them calm down. Helps with your respiratory system. So I love that I can also put some On Guard and help clean the air, especially with what's going on. And then what else? Yes, that was it. Topical. So topical is the second way to use. And he's gonna steal the show. So topical, we have a couple ways you can do this. So everyone is, maybe not everyone, has heard of a roller. So this is just a diluted roller here. doTERRA has ones called Touch, and that means they're pre-diluted. If they don't say Touch, that means they're not. So Deep Blue, for example, they have a 10 ml roll-on that is all oil. So there's a few like Immortelle, Past Tense, a few like that aren't diluted. HD Clear is another one. So just paying attention to that. But this means that because the oil is so potent, so pure, we do not need that much. Our body can't process that much. So like babies need less because they're smaller. Our bodies can only process so much. It doesn't mean we're gonna go overdose like you would on other stuff. It just means that our body's gonna use those benefits, and if you were to put a ton extra, you're just wasting that oil, right? So we are using fractionated coconut oil is a very popular carrier oil. So there is a portion of essential oil and then a portion of fractionated coconut oil. And in this roller, this is a doTERRA roller, which are my favorite rollers. Amazon has some. I have one brand I like that is pretty standard, but these are hands down the best for applying and how they dispense. So then you just roll it on to affected area. It could be, it all depends on what you're trying to do. So this is a breathe roller, which is a respiratory roller. So if you're feeling congested or if you're going through seasonal stuff, you can apply to the bridge of your nose, you can apply to your chest, you're going to apply to those affected areas. Deep blue is one joint muscle joint support, so if my legs are feeling more down, things like that. So when you're training for chill benefit, a very common way I like to use it is my heart. I like to put it like it's my forearms, and I'll put it on my neck. I kind of go a little crazy with those ones just because that's your natural perfume, right? That might be your natural way of having an aroma versus a perfume. And like I said, I'll roll this in my hands, and then I'll rub my hands together. I'll take some deep breaths, but then I'll roll that, string my hands through my ends of my hair. That's just kind of one of my favorite ways. But sometimes when you start, you think, oh, I have to make a roller. This is a lot of work. And I know when I started, I thought it was like an event. Like I wrote on the calendar, and I was like, I had my rollers, and I was like, oh, am I going to make these tonight? I don't know. Of course, like as you do it, you get more comfortable, but the cool thing is you don't have to even use a roller. So a really simple way is you have your bottle of oil, you have a fractionated coconut oil in a pump. Is preferable because it's easier. If it's easier, you're going to use it more, right? These are like new habits. If you're so used to these old norms, having these new habits is going to help you. So if like I just did with my lavender, I put a drop in my palm. So just pretend I put that drop in my hand because he's taken me away. Then I'm going to put a small squirt of that fractionated coconut oil in my hand. I did this with him also, more when he was a new baby, and rubbed it in my hands, and then I would rub it over me or over him. You're going to use a lot less for babies, a lot more for you. So same thing. You can keep it totally simple. You don't have to make a roller every time, unless it's something you commonly use, right? Or you can buy the doTERRA Touch rollers and make your life a lot easier too. Okay. You can also use any other vegetable-based oil. So if you have olive oil, you can use that. But if you are doing something more for your skin, then you can do like argan oil or jojoba oil or rose hip seed oil, those kind of things, right? I love to do that. I love to dilute my Immortelle with an oil that is good for my skin. So then I'm making that stretch a little bit more too. So that's topical. Also note on topical, you can never go wrong with the bottoms of your feet. That is a lot, you have a lot of nerve endings that goes to every area of your body. If you're familiar with reflexology, that's also, if you have the Essential Life book, you can flip open to that. I think it's in the back. They have a chart, so you can actually pinpoint what area if you wanted. That's also a great one if there's an oil you don't like the aroma of. So oregano is awesome for your immune system. Terrible smelling, like you're gonna smell like pasta sauce, but if you put it on your feet, put socks on, maybe you won't smell like pasta sauce that much. So I love that one. And then the last way is internal. So for internal, this is my favorite way because it is so effective. Essentially, doTERRA's oils, because they're so quality, they're so well sourced, you can actually take most of them internal. There's only a few that you can't, and that's just because of the variety of plant in that blend, like Deep Blue is one you can't take internal. That doesn't mean the other oils in there you can't. So there are options. So to take internal, there are a few ways. So if you have like frankincense or copaiba are great ones for like optimal overall wellness every day. You can put a drop under your tongue. So you would just go drop under your tongue. And I like the taste. It's earthy. It's a little bit woody. Copaiba is a little bit woody. So you can do that. If you have a stainless or glass water bottle, you can drop your citrus in here. Do that every day. It's going to help with your water retention. It's going to help with detoxifying and cleansing the body. So any of your citruses. So I guess the way you probably want to know, sorry, just to make sure. how you can take internal is on the back of a bottle, doTERRA's bottle, you have a supplement label. It looks like a nutrition label. So you'll notice with, sorry, this is adaptive. Adaptive does have an internal method, but you can see here there's no supplement label. So that means you cannot take this bottle internal, but you can take this one. So that's what I really like. You have one, we don't have two kinds of oils. One you can take internal, one you can't. It's just you can or you can't, right? And so under your tongue is one way. The other way, I didn't bring them in here, is a veg capsule. So just imagine your little supplements, your little casing that usually goes over your supplement. That is what you'd have empty. And doTERRA has like a bottle for $4, like or 160 of them. And then you just have to be able to aim, and you put your drops in that capsule. And that's more for like an oil you don't want the taste of. So like that oregano, I should not have put in my hot water and trying to take that internal. I put that into a veg capsule, took that every day until I was feeling better. So there's ones you can do like that. Don't want to pre-make a bunch of veg capsules because the oil is gonna burn out that veg capsule. There is a way you can put them in the freezer. I'm not gonna overshare on that, but if you want to learn more on that, let me know. But internal is awesome. It's going to help get into your body. So those are the 3 ways. So I will go through these top oils here. If you guys have any more you want to know, let me know. And or if you have any benefits that you want to share, you're welcome to chime in too. So peppermint, usually in class, is the one I'll pass around for you to try in your hand and get the real feel for it. The reason why is it's so powerful, it's so invigorating. If you're tired, which like partway through these classes we usually are, drop in your palm, rub your hands together. If you need an instant energy boost and doing that cup over your face, you're gonna feel this hit the back of your olfactory system and start to kind of flood your body. It's awesome. So mints are great for boosting. They are invigorating, energizing. They help with your respiratory system. They help with aches. They help cool the body, so as we get into the summertime, you can make a cool down spray I love with like lavender and frankincense. It's also a great alternative for head tension, so that or frankincense also. And this is a great one. This is one I'll even like dilute for little ones in the summertime too. But and then you can see here next to each bottle, hopefully this is big enough for you guys, but if you have the handout, it'll show A, T, I. So those 3 ways you can use: aromatic, topical, internal. Where are you going? And it'll show those 3 ways. So you can see most of them you can. And then you have On Guard. So I love that I'm pulling these oils out for myself. But this is my On Guard that I'd pass around the room and have you guys smell. So On Guard is a protective blend. You have a blend of wild orange, cinnamon, clove, eucalyptus, and rosemary. It's a eucalyptus you can take internal, so that's great because it is a protective blend. Okay, I'm tired. So this is one that's going to support your immune system. I'm sorry if I have to nurse them on camera. I swear. It happens every time. Well, let me put that camera up so I don't give you guys a show. So On Guard is one that you can take every single day. This is one you can be preventative. So you can drop it in your water. You can take, they have these On Guard throat drops that are amazing. But because you have that clove and cinnamon, it actually helps soothe your throat if you are having a sore throat. You can use this for cleaning. There's a whole line of On Guard products, and that's for a reason, because you have a hand soap. It's going to help boost your immune system by washing your hands instead of having fake fragrance every time. You have a cleaner concentrate that you can make an all-purpose cleaner with. You can also do this with just the bottle of oil. Don't get me wrong, but for those of us that don't have time to always make that, you can buy that kind of stuff. Laundry detergent, toothpaste, like the works. So On Guard is a really special blend that you can have. So, and these are also, just because I know we have other mamas, these are ones you can use on your babies or kiddos. Lavender. So I had lavender earlier. I used to not like lavender. I don't know about any of you, and no insult to my grandma, but I always thought lavender smelled like a grandma. But that's because it wasn't real. It was chemically lab made up, right? So the lavender we get is from Bulgaria, France. It's in a climate where it can grow indigenously. So that is one of the things that sets doTERRA apart, is that they source directly where that plant naturally derives. So I am a gardener. I don't have a garden right now, but I love gardening. And I love, that's what I really appreciate with doTERRA, is because they actually are going to the place where the soil is the best, where the lavender is going to grow even better there than it would in Swim, right? We know Swim is awesome for lavender in Washington State. That's what I really appreciate. They get their bergamotes, their citrus can be from Italy. They have a lot of things like that. So that is why also that purity, you can tell that it's pure because it comes from where that plant should. We just can't grow frankincense boswellia trees in Washington State as well as Somalia, right? Okay, so then we have wild orange. So I said citruses are awesome for in your water. They're detoxifying. Citruses are all energizing. They're all energizing in different ways. And so I always say, like, pick your favorite citrus. Usually your body's gonna be drawn to oil that you actually crave. Wild orange is like sunshine in a bottle, though. I like pairing this with a mint, with a herb. My favorite is for boosting your mood or focus is wild orange, peppermint, and rosemary. Those are really, really good. But citruses are awesome for your mood, and wild orange is one of my favorites. Deep blue is one that you can't take internal, but they do have polyphenols. So this is a muscle joint support. This is going to help with aches, pains, post-surgery, if you work out a lot, if you are just sore from yard work, if you've got stuff going on with your body and you need to help with inflammation, with circulation. Oh man. And I'm sorry, you guys, if we get booted out, I don't know how to upgrade this right now. If we get booted out, just click the link again and we'll be back in, okay? I'm sorry. I forgot to upgrade it right before. But all things for helping with that circulation and your tissues. So I use this on my C-section every single day, both my C-sections, to help with that healing. He is just not gonna have it busy. You can also use this for head tension, so you can pair this. Peppermint, I was mentioning earlier, helps that. That actually is in deep blue. There you go. And yeah, the polyphenols are awesome. If you want to take something else internal, take the deep blue polyphenols. Don't pay full price for them. Get the lifelong vitality pack and add them, though. They're only 20 bucks then. Okay, lemon. So lemon is awesome. So if you have kids, you should have lemon because you're gonna get stuff all over your walls and all over, and lemon gets everything up. Lemon is a natural cleanser, degreaser. I use this on my stove. Think about what it would degrease outside, like on your surfaces, but it's also gonna degrease on your inside, so it's gonna help with your eliminating organs. So this is a great one. I like to take it every day in my water. I'll take this and another citrus later in the day, but lemon's always like one of the first things I put in my water. Also note with citruses right now as the weather gets warmer, because citruses are photosensitive, so you can burn in the sun, so you want to be careful. So just make sure that you are covering those areas you're applying or just waiting like 24 hours. Having fun. And then aromatic though, yeah, you can take that aromatically, also help with cleaning the air. Really, diffusing is just super fun, be creative, okay? Breathe I talked about earlier. So breathe is another one you're not gonna take internal. You can take some of the single oils. It's just like that eucalyptus variety in there you can't take. So this is gonna be something for opening your airways. It's instant. My husband like swears by it. That's the one roller he asks for. Men are very difficult with oils sometimes. And it just instantly opens up. So you can apply it to your chest, over the bridge of your nose. You can also apply it over your brows, your temples, and your neck. He's just tired. And so breathe right now too with seasonal transition. We're going through that, I feel like. You can add lemon, and we talked about lavender. You can do that, or peppermint. So you can do breathe or peppermint with those two for your seasonal support for those itchy eyes and runny nose and all that. You got natural antihistamines. It's all gonna help open that up. Sorry, you guys. Okay, so then we have Digestin. And Digestin is one I actually didn't like when I started because it smells like black licorice, so I didn't like the aromatic. But I learned to love it because it works super well. So if you have anything stomach related, this is gonna be excellent for that. So if you have upset stomach, motion sickness, nausea, morning sickness, if you have, so just TMI, like anything out, anything in. If you are vomiting to diarrhea to even backed up, the works. Any of that, you can use Digestin to help soothe your tummy. If you've eaten something that doesn't agree with you, this is a great one. When I got sick, like I don't eat terrible all the time unless I'm pregnant, but I had actually eaten fair food and it did not agree with me and I was vomiting, and I took Digestin and oregano, which I won't talk about on this, and stopped the vomiting. So even though I did not want to take it internal, I'm so glad I did. You can apply Digestin on your tummy, obviously. That is a great area. That's your affected area. You can do the bottoms of your feet if you don't like the smell, if it just drives you nuts and it's gonna make you more sick. If you don't mind the smell, this also helps with your sinuses if you don't have breathe, so you can apply to your bridge of your nose. Another way you can do it is swiping under your nose. It's kind of weird, but it works. Okay, let me know if you guys have questions. I hope I'm not rushing through too much. Okay, and then frankincense is the one I dropped under my tongue. So frankincense is incredible. So frankincense is one of those like more expensive oils too. So it's one that I feel like I don't diffuse as much, but it is actually very calming and soothing for anxious feelings. So you can diffuse it. It's awesome with like lavender, serenity. But frankincense is basically like a Swiss Army knife. So if you know the three things that the three wise men brought to Jesus, frankincense was one of them. And it has so many regenerative benefits. So it helps at a cellular level. Sorry guys, usually I time this better, but you know, the witching hour happens. So it's going to help at a cellular level. It is going to help regenerate good cells and then cause cell death. So it is going to help eliminate those naughty ones that shouldn't be there. So what that also means is it's going to provide better energy for you, having healthier cells, right? Because it's regenerative, it's also really, really good for your skin. So frankincense is an anti-aging oil. You can apply this neat too. So if you have a blemish or any acne, you can apply it directly on. Let's move this so you guys don't see anything. So you can apply it neat to certain areas, but you can also make a roller and apply every single day, or buy the touch roller every single day to your face. Help with dark spots, all the things. Yeah, those are not all the ones that I wanted to talk about, but so I feel like there's so much on frankincense though. The other cool thing about frankincense is it is a natural driver, so it will help other oils be more effective. So if you're ever wanting to boost one of your blends, one of the oils you're using, and help it be more effective, you can actually add frankincense. So Yeah. They should seriously, I want doTERRA to come out with frankincense soft gels, because I think it'd be, I do under the tongue, but like having those on the go with you would be awesome. I'm not going to scroll down yet because there was a couple other oils I wanted to share. If you guys have any oils you want to share, just drop them in the comments right now and then I'll enlighten you on them. There are, I don't know even how many oils are out there. So an oil is a plant, it can be a blend, right? One that we use every day is Balance. Balance is a grounding blend. And Zoom, just a heads up, it's gonna kick you off, just come back in. I'm sorry, I'll upgrade next time. I forgot. I would do it right now if I had something near me to upgrade it, but. So Balance is your grounding blend. If you have a toddler, or you're a mom of a toddler, get a bottle of Balance. It's got a little bit of dilution in it, so what I like is that, like, sounds really bad. Sawyer will generally, yeah. Oh, I left the oven on. We got a new oven. I don't know how to work it yet. You can apply Balance directly, so neat into your palm or your children's palm. I wouldn't do babies. I'd add a little more dilution. But whenever Sawyer is cranky, I will actually like drop onto his pillow. Like when he was in a crib, I would just kind of like sprinkle it in there because he would not actually take it, be cooperative, right? So that is one way. It's very helpful. The other one I really like is Serenity. So if you are looking just for something to help with your sleep, lavender is awesome. Serenity is a blend. It has lavender in it. So you have, sorry guys. So you have lavender, you have woods and florals, you have hoe wood, you have cedar wood, lang lang, marjoram, Roman chamomile, vetiver, vanilla, Hawaiian sandalwood. So this is like, got your woods, your florals, it's awesome. It just makes it easy. So if you don't want to make a diffuser blend every night, you can just drop this in. I'll pair this with Balance too. These are like two of my must-haves for sure. The only other one,